Good afternoon on what is a warm, bright and sunny day. It is Monday the 22nd of May. I have got a nice hot cup of tea. And I am joined by a cat who is now ours as I unbox some more parcels. So let's get to it. So I've got this small one and this is from Nook the Room and I don't actually know what this is. So, opening it, I'm going to open it and find out. So, I don't remember ordering anything from Nook the Room. Okay. So, what I've got here is A Waning Light, which is an adventure for Mörk Borg, the pre-apocalyptic, doom-laden, old-school Renaissance-style role-playing game done in an art punk style, published by Free League Publishing, and this is a dungeon crawl for Mörk Borg, and this is actually it's limited edition number 48. So we open up an explanation and introduction. To the south and to the west, the place where land becomes liquid and oozes into the endless sea. This is where the giants died, the oil is blood and so on, a foul land, and this is the location for the dungeon. To the south, to the west, and the place where land becomes liquid and oozes into the endless sea, far beyond Tugdunel and the festering swamps of the Rolands lies the Land, the Great Slick. This is, they say, where the giants died. A wild wickhead solicits you for help. His wick is nearly gone, and with it his memories. Escort him into the vast oily swamps of his homeland and rekindle his flame. A Waning Light is an adventure for Mörk Borg. It contains a swamp crawl across a vast ocean of oil and tar, a short-in dungeon inside the head and body of a dead giant, and a much longer, multi-level dungeon crawl beneath the very edge of the dying world itself. Visit the ancestral home of the Wickheads. Pluck a wick from the god tree and commit the greatest of blasphemies in the name of charity. This is published by Nook the Room, so we have table of contents, a bit more expanded introduction, and suggestions for the game master to link the adventure to other Mörk Borg adventures, including a rock black sludge, treasures of the Troll King. And then potentially it's a follow-on audio version from Putrescence Regnant. So then we have an encounter with Lignan, the Wickhead, and his stats there in the background, so on, and how to roleplay him before we get into the Great Slick. And there have been plenty of swamp set adventures for the old school Renaissance. It's a great kind of environment for, and also for Dungeons and Dragons going back years. But it's a great environment for adventures because it's a difficult environment. It is it's boggy, heavy underfoot, and it's full of these generally foul-natured and rotten beasts, as it were. So got encounters tables, a table of weather for the Great Slick, but we've never had sort of like a slick that is a swamp or marsh which is so infused and spotted with oil and tar. So that adds its own kind of flavour to it, its own atmosphere. So we've got this. This is the map of the region. It's fairly open. It's not like there's no real kind of sense of. You've got a sense of space more than of distance there, and then a sense of relationship. We have details of each of the individual locations. So, Cave of Echo, Stranger Stones, Haven, Goblin Graves, and then the body of Jalud, dead giant. And adventures in the bodies of giant beasts is also nothing new. I've reviewed numerous ones over the years. You have like the Great Godwell series of supplements put out by Lost Pages. There's there's an adventure by Scrap Princess as well, and there's also an adventure for Dungeons and Dragons 3rd edition or 3.5 from Monty Cook as well. So, you know, I mean, the thing is about having an adventure in a giant, the body of a beast or a giant, actually gives it a whole new atmosphere to it. So we've got the Gibbet and Whalefall, and then you know, basically just a giant whale brought up upon the beach for some reasons, for the locations. So, you know, the layout of this is quite simple and clear. You know, every location gets a sort of like a page or a 2-page spread according to its needs. So it's never, you know, it never lingers too long. It doesn't go on too long. You are, when you're using it, you know, you are just referring to this one page, or, you know, a double page spread, you know, with the image there. I mean, it's designed to be easy to use off the page. And then so we get to the dungeons, and this is the dungeons of essentially. So Julud is the first, and this is a mini dungeon inside the head of the giant. And again, you've got this little convention essentially with Mörk Borg adventures, in particular in this style, where you have the mini map repeated, but with the location marked for the entry location. It accompanies. I mean, you know, Mörk Borg didn't necessarily begin that, but it does do it in that style. Whereas you have something like the old school Essentials range from Necrotic Gnome, and they're doing something similar, but much more in the style of a traditional dungeon. So yeah, it's quite a small location in terms of a dungeon. Just going through, and then we have floor 2. Giant's teeth there at the bottom. Details of within the chest, and also an encounter with a gelatinous cube, a signature dungeon dungeon creature for your old school Renaissance style games, even an eel folk warlock. And then we have the bigger dungeon, which is the sink. So if I can just get to, if there's any information about the sink here. Nope, we just literally go straight into the sink, and it's a larger map, much more locations. And here we have it's more of a traditional dungeon, sort of like done by level by level. Rather than getting the feel of it being in sort of like the body of a giant. So going on down, you know, area 14 again, using the clear markers, you know, the shading on the maps to mark the different areas. We have floor 2. All the way down and so on. We've got at the bottom there we have location 29, and then turn the page, we have the God Tree at the very end, and then afterwards we have an afterward and and nicely a full list of the other titles from to Loot the Room as well, telling you essentially what they're for. So you've got several for Mörk Borg, and several for System Neutral, and so on, and several, and even a couple for a 5th edition there. So yeah, that's A Waning Light, a swamp, an oily, tarry swamp crawl, followed by strange dungeons excursions at the edge of the world for Mörk Borg. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this unboxing in the Nook. If you have, then please do click on the like button down below. And of course, if you've got any comments or feedback, I do appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to get more unboxings in the Nook, where you will see me out here with a package containing a book or game, or in this case a scenario, which I will unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea. Then please do click on the subscribe button down below. Thanks again for watching another unboxing of the Nook. Be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.